Hi guys, in this video we're going to look at how I covered the gaps in the joins with Greenstuff. Okay, so the big man's had time to dry overnight, so I can be confident that all the super glue is fully cured. I'm going to go around now and seal any joins, starting at the tail end and going up through the body. Okay, so I've mixed my Greenstuff into a nice even consistency. And I'm going to start by rolling out a very thin strip, which then I'm going to apply onto the tail here. Now on the top there was almost no gap at all, so I'm going to sort of pretty much skip past that, just try and force the Greenstuff into any gap there was there. Be a bit more generous with the Greenstuff as we go around where the gap's a bit wider. And then when we've only got a slight crack again, draw it out a bit more. Okay, so I'm going to start on this bottom bit now, and I'm going to just start by blending the Greenstuff into the surfaces on each side. And then I'm going to go right over, do the other one. And on the top, I'm almost scraping away the Greenstuff just to leave the finest layer in the where it doesn't line up. Okay, so now I've got that fairly nicely blended in. I don't think you'll be able to see that crack when it's done. I'm going to go over with the rubber shaper tool, quite a soft one, and I'm just going to rub this over the lines, and this will take out any tool marks hopefully that I had, and just take off any sharp edges, make it all look like one piece. Okay, and the last stage is to look at how the tail's patterned. So there's small circles in it, and I'm just going to go around. I'm just going to try and copy that kind of design on the green parts. Next I will work on the tail join here. So once again, start off with a sausage Greenstuff. Go for a little bit bigger one this time, and I'm not even going to roll this as thin. Do one end quite thin, going to quite fat. I'm going to lay that down there, so the thin ends where the crack's quite small, and the fatter section will line up with the bigger gap. And the same sort of thing again, starting with where the gap's thinnest. I'm just going to push the Greenstuff into the crack, work my way round, and we want the Greenstuff to be obscuring as few of the original details as possible. Okay, that's the sort of thing I like to see. So you can see the dark part through the Greenstuff there, it's where the crack is, and then obviously the lighter green outside is just the very sort of smears on the surface. But because they're there, it'll be completely continuous from there to there, and you won't be able to see where that crack is. On this section I've also taken a little bit of artistic license. I think a little bit of this sort of fingernail section, I don't know what you'd call it, a sort of skin section around this sort of horn was removed during maybe the cutting. So I'm just taking a little bit of artistic license, and I'm just building a little bit of that back there and trying to match it to what was already there on the other sides. So again, just getting in with the rubber tool, making sure that any Greenstuff that's left on this surface is nice and smooth. I reckon the little dimples here look kind of like what would happen if I just poke the end of my sculpting tool in here. So we're going to texture that back out, and then down the sides of here appears to be some sort of straight lines. Okay, so I'm happy with that now. So that's quite a wide band of Greenstuff there, but it's just so we can ensure that the line of his body isn't broken up with where the gap was. Okay, next one is his neck, smoothing in to either side. Okay, so the last joints to look at are going to be here on the horns. Now I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to go about this. I think I'm just going to start getting some Greenstuff on there and kind of wing it. As ever, we're going to start with a rolled out sausage. We're then going to work on smoothing it on both sides. I think this might take more than one layer. Okay, so here, where this horn sort of comes in, I'm going to dab a bit more green stuff on there. I'm going to use that to sort of follow the shape of the horn off the horn part. Smooth it in. And then follow that onto the head. One continuous line. So I think these are meant to have this sort of gap around the middle here. Sort of a bit like deer antlers possibly. But I see these more as like almost like tree branches coming out of his skull, so I'm going to fill in all those gaps there. As ever, now the green stuff's in place, you can take the rubber tool and really smooth it out and blend it in. We're not worried about the textures or the shapes too much at this point, just making the two bits of resin into one continuous bit of model. Okay, so the horns have been blended in now, so they are continuous and you'd be hard pressed to find the joins, just like the other ones. But I think there's a few little areas where the blending in doesn't look, where the horns are joined doesn't look exactly natural. So I think I'm going to let this cure for a little bit and I'm going to sculpt in some extra details. So one little detail I've put in here is I've built up on the back of this a little bit. I'm drawing lines in it to sort of match the horns that are already there. But instead of making another horn, I've sort of tried to make it look like a little tree knot. Kind of mirroring a detail from over here. But a little larger. And I think there we have it. I think we're almost there. Okay, so the green stuff on these parts has completely cured now. It's been done for a couple of days. And so what I'm going to do, like I've started up here, is just very, very gently with the files. So I've got this file, and then I've got my round file, which might be a bit better actually. I'm just very gently smoothing in and removing the very top layer of the green stuff and even a little bit of the resin, just to make sure there is absolutely no obvious join between the green and the resin. What this also does is it knocks the sort of shine off the green stuff that can sometimes give away where it's been. See, right now I'm barely putting any pressure on, just basically just scratching up the surface of the green stuff a little bit. Okay, that's the green stuff done. The model, for the most part, is now complete. I am going to start work on the base. That'll be the next video. So stay tuned for part 3. Bye.